Hello guys, and welcome back to another Xbox 360 World of Tanks replay with me, Ben. We're the beer guys, welcome to our channel if you've not been here before. Today we're looking at a replay of my Object 704. This is the very first game I had in the 704. If you watched any of my other videos recently, we had got the grinding the ISU 152 series, and I was grinding that out. And I unlocked this a couple of weeks ago, and I've absolutely been smashing through the XP on it. It's an amazing tank. So we're on Westfield Assault, and I'm going to drive to a spot that I go to pretty often. Or I think this might have been one of the first games that I discovered that it was could be a pretty brutal spot. So the ISU 152, the tank before this one, I absolutely adored. Once you had it fully upgraded with the BL10, it's an amazing gun. It's a tier 10 gun, and I was perfectly happy to take that tank into tier 10 battles. Keeping in mind it's only a tier 8 tank. So and looking at the stats of the 704, really it's kind of very similar. It's just an upgrade from the 152. It's a similar sort of shape. It's got a bit more sloped armor. It's got a bigger gun mantlet, which is useful. A little bit more bouncy, and the gun is essentially the same, but just a tiny bit more accurate and a tiny bit of a quicker reload. But probably the biggest bonus for me, the only thing that I found lacking when I was playing the 152 in tier 9 and 10 games, was your very small amount of hit points. It had, I think, 1040 or 1010, like quite a weird amount of hit points. This is one tier up from that, and it's got 1600, so it's got an extra 600 hit points for one tier, which is amazing, really. So here we are. This is up in the little spot I like to go in, especially with low-profile tanks like this, because you can stay up on this little ledge here and get fairly good cover. You just got to watch out if they come through the town. Then you get a little bit compromised. There we go, 917. You can see the difference there in the reload speed, and the aim time is significantly better than the BL10 on the 152 before it. So there's a guy coming through the town, just being a little bit cautious of him. This is pretty much the only spot I tend to come to on this map now. I'm never really sure where to go when I'm attacking. Obviously you can't sit at the back there, like those guys sitting along the K line right at the spawn. Pretty useless. I mean, they can get shots off on these guys who are being pretty aggressive, but they're not going to be in range of a lot of the enemy team. They'd be much more useful pushing up somewhere a bit closer, but there you go. More damage for me to do. Nice. So this is about my ideal sort of reload time for a TD for an alpha gun. I find the Jaegeru, the Jagdpanzer E100, a bit frustrating with the slightly higher alpha for and a much longer reload time. I'd rather have this. It's got a tiny bit less alpha, but a significantly quicker reload. I'd rather use this tank any day. But it depends what you like. The Jaegeru's got pretty good armor. This doesn't have anywhere near as good armor as the Jaegeru, but it does have amazing camo. Like a lot of the Russian TDs, you can hide it almost anywhere. And that's why I've got the camo net on. I've also got a pretty good crew on this tank, so I'm over-leveled it on the ISU before, so it can move straight over at 100%. So you can see my first battle in the 704 is off to a pretty good start. I don't think I've missed a shot yet. I think they've all damaged. I'm probably slightly fortunate their artillery hadn't started going for me yet though. And I've had a bit of luck with some of my RNG for those shots. Nothing's gone too wild yet. So I was asking people the other day, I'm going to do a Q&A video soon, so if anyone's got any questions they'd like me to answer in a Q&A video, throw them in the comments, and I'm keeping a list of all those, and I'll pick out some of my favourites and and do that video in the next couple of weeks. Bye bye KB5. I always try and wait till it's fully aimed in here. And I'm just kind of shuffling about and keeping moving. I'm not spotted at the moment, just always keeping moving, always ready for artillery. When you're in this spot, you can kind of, if your team get obliterated down on that one side like I kind of have, you can sort of play around this corner and spin around pretty easily to get shots on them coming either through the valley or back up here and flank them a little bit if you need to. You just need to be cautious. If you do try and push this flank a little bit like I am now, there's still normally guys up on this hill here. So it's generally, you can't really drive straight across that field until you've cleared up a little bit. You can get shots into the town though. Oh, just misread the guy moving there. So the spotting range on this tank's not great again, like most of the Russian TDs or Russian tanks in general. Pretty low spotting range, pretty low view range. I do have binoculars on. I think I've taken those off now. This was my very first game. I'm pretty sure I've removed those and gone for the aiming speed. And there he goes. So up to 9 damaging shots already, which is going to be a pretty serious amount of damage. And I've not taken any damage yet. You can see it's bounced a few shots pretty well, and it's also just managed to dodge quite a few from having this low profile, sitting behind this tiny little bump. And finally, my team is starting to push up a little bit. I found so I've got a few premium shells there. I've got a few HE. I think I've changed that loadout a bit now. I don't think I've ever fired it. I've got this fully upgraded now. This was first game, but now I've got it fully upgraded. I've got about 140,000 XP on it. I think you need about 300,000 for the Object 268. I haven't fired a single premium shell with it yet. It just doesn't need them. The gun's amazing. It seems very rare that it bounces. And I'm not sure I've even fired an HE either, unless maybe I was trying to break the cap and make sure I was stopping someone capping the flag. And as you can see, that ammo loadouts, the amount of ammo you can keep in this tank is going to be more than sufficient. You're not going to be able to fire off all that ammo, I think, in one game. So it feels a little bit more mobile than the ISU as well. Gets around the battlefield, okay speed. And one of the other things I've noticed about this tank is the gun depression also feels a lot better than on the ISU. So I find I can not. I mean, it's no T29, but if you sit back behind a small ridge, you can aim over it pretty well. And a bit unlucky there, hitting the I think the gun mantlet of the E75 and bouncing. And unfortunately we cap. So it was a great round with 4 reds still left alive with us capping. So who knows what could have happened if they hadn't have capped. There you go, 5,700 damage, 1,700 spotting points, and 5 kills. 12 shots fired, 11 hits, 10 pens. Really pleased with that for my first game. You can imagine the smile on my face when I had that round. And I went on, I think I played 10 rounds that first night when I unlocked it. And I think my average damage at the end of that was about 3,000 damage per game, which is higher than any of my tier 10 tanks really. Although I do only have 2. And I'm a bit crap in the Jaegeru. But yeah, very pleased with that. Hope you enjoyed it. I've got a whole bunch more of these replays saved, as you can imagine. And so I'll be doing some commentaries to those. And I'll also be doing some grinding the videos for this tank as well, which is 3 rounds back to back with sort of live commentary, and maybe platooned up with Lam as well, the other beard guy. Cool, right, nice one. Hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If you did, hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and check out some other videos. Nice one. I'm Ben, we're the Beard Guys, and I'll catch you later.